my name is Amy Erber. I'm with Summit Systems Incorporated. We are Mercer's technology partner for the install of the Epson brightlink 595WI projector. This is an interactive projector which would take the place of a traditional electronic whiteboard in a classroom. So all of the interactivity comes straight from the projector and allows for a dry erase board to become interactive surface. It uses 2 pens or finger touch. 6 fingers can interact with it simultaneously along with 2 pens. So it's actually 8-point touch piece of machinery. You may navigate throughout the desktop or to internet sites just as if you were a mouse up at the board, or you may annotate digitally, becoming a digital pen. When you first log on to your computer, obviously your desktop pops up, and then you'll see 2 navigation menus for this Easy Interactive Tools software. Okay, this is the way that you are going to be able to interact with this. There are 2 pens, or you can use your finger, okay, to navigate or to control wherever you're going.
I have a question already.
Sure.
So when I go in any one of these classrooms, all of them have it?
Any classroom that does not have a ceiling mounted projector.
Okay, so
I think there's might be like 1 or 2 here that still will have a ceiling mounted projector.
So these menus will automatically appear when that computer is on?
They should, and your computer group should have made that the standard. If not, it is this icon here called Easy Interactive Tools. Okay. And you would just double click on that as if you were opening any other file. You know what I mean? Okay, so we've got the main menu up here, which is your control menu, okay? And I'm going to go through these icons just so that we can see what you would take. The picture of the house will bring you to the home screen. From the home screen, you can tell it, this is what I want to do. So basically, we can choose desktop annotation, which now it understands, okay, I'm going to be a mouse and I can navigate, and then I can also use these tools in order to annotate. So if I wanted to go to the internet, I would just use this now as acting as my mouse. This or my finger, okay? So here I am.
We're okay.
So if you have a pen, you're fine. If you don't have the pen, you're okay, yes. You will definitely be able to. And in each classroom, your pens are bolted to the wall here in this little handy-dandy pen case, okay? So here I'm navigating. I've navigated now to the internet. I can tell it that I want to start writing now. And that brings us to our drawing tools, okay? So here, this is where I switch from navigating as a mouse to being able to annotate digitally on top of things, okay? So this will switch between actually being a digital pen or a digital mouse, all right? So here we have your pen, and in the drop-down menu, you can change the thickness of the pen or the color of the pen. Now, this is designed to be a very, very simple toolbox. So you're not going to see a whole palette of colors. This is what you got, to choose from here. So you can tell it the thickness, and I want to be purple, and then you can continue to make notes digitally on whatever surface that you're doing. So it doesn't have to be on the internet. You can do this over your desktop, over a Microsoft Word document, over an Excel document, over a PowerPoint. So whatever is on your desktop or coming through, showing on your local monitor, will show up here on your projector, and then you will be able to interact with it. Okay? So I just told it I wanted to be a pen, and it was purple, and I circled a couple of things. The next tool here is the highlighter. So again, you can change the thickness of your highlighter or the color of your highlighter. Even if you choose black as your highlighter, it will be transparent. Okay, so you will definitely be able to see through whatever color you choose in the highlighting tool, okay? Again, you're going to have a minimal amount of colors to choose from, as well as pen widths, but that is just to simplify, your experience with it. And then you will see black, red, and blue. Those are pretty much the most used colors. So you can easily switch to black in a thick line, or you can choose on this smaller circle, and it will change it to a smaller pen thickness. Okay, same with the blue and the red here. This is your eraser. So I can choose the large circle on the eraser tab, and it's going to give me a large circle and erase kind of a larger space at once, okay? If I choose the smaller eraser, it's just a little bit of a smaller space that it will erase. This is to clear the entire screen. And it will always bring up a dialog box that asks you, are you sure you want to clear the screen? And from there you can say yes, and it will take away all of your annotations. Here is to pin this so it doesn't keep disappearing. I'm sure you see that if I don't touch that menu for a little bit, it will go away. You can pin it to the side by choosing this pin, and then if you're teaching from this side and you had to walk over here, you can still switch the menu from side to side, okay? Which is a great little tool there. So that is your, this is your annotation tools box. Do you have any questions about those tools? They're really simple, very easy to switch between and to understand how to use. So now we see picture of a mouse. I'm going to tell it I'm done annotating. I want to be a mouse, so I'm going to make sure that it's blue and that my mouse icon is selected in order to navigate now as a mouse, okay? So I'm going to go, excuse me, back to my desktop, and here I am again, okay? Like I said, when you're in your annotation tool, you can annotate over anything that's showing, okay? And then you may save as well. There is a shapes tool as well. So here's your shapes in a straight line drawer. Again, thickness you can change as well as a color. You can have a filled in shape, or you can have, a clear shape. So those are pretty self-explanatory. So that was choosing desktop annotation. If I just want to go straight to a new whiteboard, here I am in just a whiteboard mode, okay? So if I'm coming in and I want to lecture and I want to start out writing notes, this is where I would go. I would just go to a new whiteboard. And once again, your menu, your annotation menu will not change, so it's not going to change between any mode. If you're in whiteboard mode or desktop annotation mode, you're going to see the same tools there, okay? So here, from here you can write notes, you can say things to do. And within the whiteboard, where's my, you see your control menu came down here now, okay? So from here you may save, and it will automatically bring up your tool or your keyboard tool here, and then you have several different file formats to save in, which is basically JPEG or picture modes, or a PDF, or an EIT tool, which is the proprietary software here, their file extension. So you can save this as a PDF. I mean, most people will save it as a PDF, and then from there, if you need to post this on a website or make it available for your students, it's a very easy file format that anybody can access, which is PDF. So you can name it, and this is going to save just as if you were saving any other file. So it'll ask you where you want to save it. You can save it on your desktop. You can save it in a specific folder, maybe made for digital lectures or something, just as if you were saving any other thing. Okay?
That's going to be interesting in terms of bringing your own media, because I know they erase everything off these computers every day. Just remembering say you got to have a jump drive or something.
Right. And
yeah, and how do we find that? Because I always have an external hard drive plugged in.
There's a little control and connection box up here with 2 USB. So you may put that into, actually you would put your jump drive into whatever, if you're showing it off of a laptop or the PC, you would plug it into either the PC or your laptop and tell it to save on that drive.
Okay, and those will show up. So.
Yes, ma'am. So you can just choose it. Yeah.
And I usually save it to the external hard drive. I just want to make sure I can find the external hard drive.
Yeah, and you may bring that. You know, you can bring that. You just need to make sure you plug it into whatever the source is, and then tell it this is where it's in drive F. Please save it to this external hard drive or whatever. Just as if you were saving anything else to it. Okay. All right. So in the whiteboard mode, you can put a frame up so that you can see your your whole deck. You can add, which is this icon with the plus sign. You can delete, which is the icon with the X. And once again, a dialog will come up and say, are you sure you want to delete that? But the most important thing here is this briefcase full of tools. Okay, so we're going to go through these, and these are just some features that you can use, and then ways that you can import some files and things like that. So the first one here is the zoom tool. This allows you to zoom in and zoom out of an area, and I should have done that better. Sorry, let me go back. I want my briefcase. So if I'm writing, actually I want it'll take this as the background and zoom into it. So if you're looking at and you want to magnify things, that's what that zoom tool will do, but only in the whiteboard mode. So whatever you have up on the screen, you can zoom in on. I'll show it to you once we pull in a background. It'll probably work a little bit better. Then there's this flashlight tool. So if this is kind of like if you want to focus on a specific thing that you have in the background, you don't want to reveal all of what's on your background, you can do that. If you click in the black part, you can move this around. If you click on the gray frame, you can resize this. And then in order to close, you would just hit this X. Okay, so that's just kind of a cute little feature there for you. Same with the shade tool. The shade tool is kind of a revealing, so if I have a list here and I want them to just go one by one and didn't want to kind of confuse them or take their focus off of something, then that's what this goes. So you can, by clicking on this gray frame, move this up or down or left and right, okay? And then of course, to close out of that, we would just hit that red X. This is where you can bring in a background. So there are several backgrounds that are standard and already embedded into the software. So if you wanted lined paper, it'll give you a background of lined paper. If you needed graph paper, it'll give you 2 different forms of that. If you wanted the music stuff, then you have it right there. So if you're teaching with some sort of background that always is going to be in your classroom, you may even put that in your files and choose a file from your picture, and it will from your picture library, and it'll make that happen in your background. Okay, so now that we have this up, let's try this zoom tool once again. You choose that section and it will zoom right in on that. So, and you can move that around as well. Okay. Any questions so far? Or good? These are kind of just features. So.
Show me one more time how to open a file. Where do you...
Sure thing. So this is to import a background. This little icon here that shows a right arrow and something filling your entire screen here. So that's where I went there. And then I just chose the icon of the file to import it from a file.
Okay, and then you go wherever.
Yep, you can choose whatever you would like to import there. and I chose the penguins, and then I just exited out of that, and there's our background. Okay? You may also import just a single picture. That's not going to take up your whole entire background. So let's bring in these tulips and see what happens. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Sorry. Did I do that right? I don't know why this is. Sorry. Let me see. So with it just being a picture and not a background, you can manipulate this as if you were in any other editing, such as Word, if you're editing a picture or anything. So with this, you can rotate your picture. So you can manipulate the picture just as if you were in any other program. There's a drop-down box here for your right-click menu, and you can copy, bring to front, bring to back, things like that. So you can also bring in files and manipulate them within this program. Okay? You can print if you're connected to a printer. I wouldn't be the person to talk to about that. So, but you would be able to print. And then there are customizable tools as well. So if you wanted to change that spotlight shape to a circle instead of a square, you could do that here. You can tell it what size your toolbars you want. And then if I wanted this, I've never seen this down here. It's usually up at the top. So if I wanted that up top, then I can do that, and I can say OK, and then it'll switch to all of my preferences. Okay. You can always restore to default, and it'll just come back. Really, the only thing that may change if instructors decide to go in there and manipulate the customizable tools is things like that. Positioning, sizes, nothing major. So you will be able to function if somebody changes something. It just might be a different shape or a different size or a different position.
Can you show where the restore default was?
Yeah. So if I go back inside here and I go to my tools, it's right here, restore defaults. And we can hit that and say OK. And this is how out of the box it would look for you. Okay? So let me see if I finished all that. Then you can always pull up your keyboard here. This is a picture of the keyboard. You can pull that up if you want to make a text box or something. I can tell you from experience, it's quite a bit easier to go just use your keyboard over there, just to type things unless you're typing something short.
Does it text white?
No, yep, you got to go like this. So that's what I mean. You'll want to go back over there. Yeah, this is just using the onboard keyboard, for the operating system that you have. Okay, so and then this would be a document camera. If there was a document camera hooked up to this, then you would be able to switch from here to the document camera and then annotate on that. But there is not a camera
Is there one anywhere
selected.
that you know of?
I think in Douglas, I know that there's 2. I'm not sure on this campus if there is. But you could change it to, say you have your laptop hooked up, you could change it to the camera on your laptop, and you would be able to view that from there.
What are some reasons why people use the document camera?
Well, a lot of people want to show something that is a stationary image up on a screen. Or a lot of times people want to show an audience up on the screen, or distance learning, things like that. Yeah, an object or a book. So just think of like overhead projectors, with transparencies and markers and things like that. This takes that all away. So you can just check out a page in a book or a picture or something, and that will all come up here, and then you can interact with it through this program. Okay, so that's basically whiteboard mode here. If we're not finished and we know we're going to come back, but hey, we're in the middle of a discussion and we want to go back out to the web now, we're going to choose this little icon, which allows you to go back to annotation mode without closing the program in the background.
So where did the program that's not closed, where did it go?
it went stuck itself right back into the whiteboard, to the picture of the whiteboard. So it's still there. You don't have to close it. You didn't have to make any saves or clear anything. So you can toggle between the two modes right up here. There's a picture of a whiteboard, a picture of a desktop monitor. Okay? So here we are back here again, and I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the tools and everything. Now, one thing I just do want to tell you, though, is with this program, you're able to have multiple users, six fingers at a time, 2 pens. So 8 users up just annotating. So if I'm here and I'm a student and I'm writing, someone else is up here, they're writing at the same time. So you could come up and use the other pen, and that would be writing. The pen, from pen to pen, you can change their colors. They can be different colors, but fingers are always going to be the same because it reads in frequencies, but my finger is the same as your finger as far as frequency goes. So those are never going to be a different tool or a different color, okay? But from pen to pen, you can change the different colors, and you'll see that each pen has a different color top. There is a blue one and there's an orange one, and that represents the different frequencies that these emit, okay? So I can be red with this one and black with this one and green with my finger, but your finger will be green too, okay?
So this is on page 2 of 2. Where's the other page? How do you get back to your page 1?
Well, you can hit your down arrow or your up arrow, and or we can put the frame back and just go from 1 to 2. Okay? It's really actually very simple, and I think, you know, maybe 3 things to take away is learn how to navigate as a mouse first, you know, just coming up here and going from opening up files and navigating to the internet, navigating through your desktop, and then using the whiteboard mode to actually digitally annotate, take notes, save that, and, you know, push out to your class. So it's really good, but the more you use it, the more familiar you'll become with it. But it is designed to be a very simple, not overwhelming software piece for you to just out of the box be able to integrate, you know, interactivity into your room.
So when students come up to the board to make presentations using Prezi or PowerPoint or something like that, they're going to be in control of this. So I guess we're training students too, right? In terms of just kind of how to navigate some simple things. But like when they're in PowerPoint mode, it'll look just like that. They'll click the slide with the pen that they want to go to.
Yep, and you can, you know, you don't even have to think about the pen or what. Or they can come up here with their finger, and we can just. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not. I need to tell it I want to be a mouse. So we can pull up PowerPoint, and you can just be a mouse in PowerPoint. You know what I mean? So you don't even have to think about your annotations or using this. It'll go away then, and you can go from here to opening up files. You know, so I don't really know if there's a PowerPoint in this. Yeah, so I know sometimes you're like, uh-oh, so they're going to use this and when they're going to use, but the point being, and that's kind of a great thing to think about, is when they're going to come up here and they're going to use a presentation or a PowerPoint presentation, they can absolutely present from right here instead of over there anymore and switch their slides just as if they were over there with a mouse, but they can do it right here on the board with their finger. You don't even have to think about, plus they can make notes, which is great, but they don't even have to use this program. They can just use their finger and as if they're a mouse.
And if they want to stand over here.
If they want to stand over here, they would probably use that keyboard and the mouse like they always do. Yep, uh-huh.
And I was just thinking in terms of having guest speakers come in who maybe just don't care to learn.
Right.
Or, you know,
no worries. You do not have to utilize the interactivity. You can use it as a traditional, you know, projector and projecting what your local monitor is, and you can use this podium. That's why it's there, so yeah.
And that's how a video clip would be shown also, the video, the DVD in the computer, and it would...
Yes, ma'am. So anything that you're going to put on either a laptop or the in-house PC that's housed in your podium, whatever you're going to show is going to appear right here. The only thing that's different is that you have added features. You can touch this with a pen or your finger and make some digital notes. If someone is not comfortable with it, no problem. They can stay right at the podium and they can utilize this as a traditional projector dry erase board scenario. So, as we can see, it's pretty simple to navigate and to annotate in a digital form. With your pen or with your finger, you should be able to pull a lot of different resources into your classroom and not be connected to your podium or your desk any longer. You can bring people up and collaborate and make this a fun, interesting, and educational activity.